Coming up this week on Minnesota Vikings Now, we'll be doing another trade mailbag because those are fun and you guys seem to enjoy them based on the feedback we've gotten. So what I'm asking for you guys to do in the comment section is put your best trade ideas, questions, targets, whatever version you want to go with there in the comment section. The best ones that use hashtag Vikings as part of it, so it's easier for producer Jack to find them, will be featured on an upcoming show. Here's what we've got on tap for you guys today. The Ndamukong Suh rumors are back once again on Minnesota. There's some interesting comparisons of Kirk Cousins to Steph Curry from his own head coach, and Dalvin Cook's ranking on the ESPN top 10 running backs list. But we're going to begin with Ndamukong Suh. The latest report is that the Vikings and Raiders have had conversations about adding Suh, which, by the way, is not the first time we've seen this report. Brad Stainbrook, who reports on the Cleveland Browns, said the Browns are out on it, but Dov had a better condensed tweet for it. The Vikings and Raiders have had conversations about adding free agent defensive tackle Ndamukong Suh, according to Stainbrook. At Stainbrook NFL, it's Brad Stainbrook. The Browns aren't interested in signing him at the moment. This is not the first time that these two teams have been linked. Remember that we talked about this 3 weeks ago. USA Today report said that the Vikings and Raiders have had talks with Ndamukong Suh. Stainbrook also mentioned that Suh could look to sign sometime around training camp, which is right around the corner. The idea of adding Suh for a team that wants to win games right now should be highly appetizing. This is a still very good defensive lineman. Is he going to give you 6 sacks again? Probably not. The tackle numbers have dipped, but he can still stop the run and generate some pressure along the defensive line. What I'm saying is Suh, even as he is at this point closer to 40 than he is 30, he can still ball. He can still play and produce at a high level. And if you were to add Ndamukong Suh to your 3-4 defensive line front, along with Dalvin Tomlinson, along with Harrison Phillips, and probably starting over Armon Watts, who will still be a key rotational piece while you buy some time for your young guys to grow and develop, I don't think there's a better top 3, top 4 of pure interior defensive linemen in the NFL. The Vikings would be able to dominate the trenches in theory and have success stopping the run and making life easier on a still rather unproven secondary outside of a few key pieces like Patrick Peterson, Harrison Smith. It's still pretty young back there. So having proven talent on the interior makes your life a hell of a lot easier. Let's put you in the shoes of Kwesi Adofo-Mensah here. Would you sign Ndamukong Suh if you were the Vikings GM? Assume the deal is somewhere around $7 to $8 million, somewhere in that range. Let me know in the comment section. Type in S for sign or P for pass. Now, among the top free agent defensive tackles, Ndamukong Suh is, if not the best, one of the best. Not necessarily ranked on this list, but here are 5 others the Vikings could consider. 2 somewhat noteworthy players, Sheldon Richardson, Linval Joseph. I think you guys know why those 2 are high up on that list. Bit surprised both remain unsigned. And some veteran, more run-stopper-only focused players, Star Lotulelei and Steve McClendon, also a former Tampa Bay Buccaneer. If you still want more defensive line help and you don't want to go the route of free agency, there are some notable players who could hypothetically be obtained via trade. Deron Payne is the best one on this list, I'd argue by a pretty good margin. Also, not necessarily going to be available via a trade. The Commanders are trying to win games right now. Fletcher Cox could be a mid-season trade. Good one to keep an eye out for if the Eagles decide, we're not good this year. Let's blow it up midway through. Michael Brockers is not the most productive player, but a fantastic, I call them the dirty work guys, who free up other players to make plays. Ross Blacklock might not be a great scheme fit, but former second-round pick, has talent and has been improperly utilized by Houston. And Raekwon Davis, I don't love him as a true nose guard, kind of a tweener. That was my big issue with him coming out of Alabama. One of the better Miami Dolphins interior defensive linemen, but they are beginning to make some changes overall as an organization. Now, if the Vikings end up signing Suh, you know we will have a video on it. So don't miss out on that potential news or any of our videos here at Minnesota Vikings Now. Make sure your noties are set to all. When you first subscribe, the vast majority of you don't have them turned on. It defaults to personalized, which means when we do a video on a Monday and a Tuesday back-to-back, you might not get a push for both of them. Get that changed. Change those notifications to all right now. Interesting comments now by Kevin O'Connell about the offense and Kirk Cousins and the role and how he wants his quarterback to play. O'Connell was talking about how you want to keep the offense simple. That's the key to it. And also compared it to Steph Curry shooting a three and getting open looks for your quarterback. Here's exactly what O'Connell said. People talk about jump shooters in the NBA being catch-and-shoot guys. Hey, let's get Steph Curry some open threes. Catch-and-shoot is going to knock down a high percentage of those. Quarterbacks, in my opinion, in the NFL, on those early downs, that's what we should try to do. We should try to create plays where they can be catch-and-shoot type shooters. It's an interesting analogy, and the more I think about it, the more I actually like it as a comparison. And I think the important part here is early downs. On third downs, teams know you're throwing the football. It's a little bit harder. I interpret it as the Vikings offense is going to try to create quick read, short-ish throws designed to get their receivers open and allow your quarterback to deliver the ball as a result. Now, Cousins' numbers have always been productive, and at some point, I think one of the criticisms from Mike Zimmer in particular has been, hey, we want to push the ball downfield, have some more success going vertically. I think if you can create early quick throws that get guys open in space, scheme players when you got Thielen and Jefferson, that makes sense. I would almost go with a partially different analogy in terms of basketball. You also want your quarterback to be a point guard. You want him to make those passes and get the ball into the hands of your playmakers quickly. So I don't mind the basketball analogy. I do wonder if the three-point aspect means maybe some more vertical shots than what you've seen necessarily in the past. Now, speaking of quarterbacks, ESPN pushed out their top 10 rankings based on alleged coaches and executives' conversations. Rodgers number 1, Mahomes 2, Allen 3, Brady 4, Burrow 5, Stafford 6, Herbert 7, Wilson 8, Deshaun 9, and Dak 10. Nothing too controversial there beyond, I think Lamar Jackson should be in that conversation. I would simply swap out Lamar and Deshaun and order the 5 through 11 however you want to. They're all franchise guys, I think, pretty clearly. Other quarterbacks who were on that list, a very small sample of QBs who even got votes for the top 10. Derek Carr, Kyler Murray, and then Kirk Cousins also got some votes. He checked in there, hypothetically, at 14 on the list, which I think is actually pretty fair. Cousins is what I call my good starters tier. I actually have him over Kyler Murray right this second because Murray has not proven it consistently yet. I think the breakout's going to come this year, but he hasn't been the hyped Kyler Murray that you would hope he would be. I do think Kirk Cousins is a top 15 quarterback in the NFL. I think he's consistently put up production that has been truly impressive. Even though the results haven't always been what you want, not all Kirk's fault. So is Cousins a top 15 quarterback? Why for yes and for no? Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. From quarterbacks to running backs, Dalvin Cook was ranked number 4 in the NFL in those ESPN positional rankings. Here's a look at the top 10. Derrick Henry, number 1. Jonathan Taylor, number 2. Nick Chubb, number 3. There's Dalvin Cook at number 4. Alvin Kamara, Joe Mixon, Christian McCaffrey, Najee Harris, Aaron Jones, and Javonte Williams then round out the top 10. And I think that feels pretty fair for Dalvin Cook. Obviously, Henry missed some time, so did Dalvin Cook. There will be some Colts fans who are big mad over Jonathan Taylor not being number 1. But Cook ranking number 4 after a regression year, lower yards, lower carries, lower average, lower touchdowns, I think is reflective of the fact he's been pretty damn good over his career in Minnesota. So our question for you, is to, not question, more request, I should say, is to rank Dalvin Cook among NFL running backs. 132. If you're going even below the top 10, I am very confused on that standpoint. But if you were ranking all the NFL backs in the NFL, where would you put Dalvin Cook? Is he 1? Is he 4? Is he 8? Sound off for me in the comment section. On yesterday's video, my boy Mitchell Renz asked you guys to join the Noti Gang. First 5 people got a shout-out. Well, here they are. Jim Cleary, Eric Lapontaine. Is that how you pronounce it? Lapointe? I'm not sure, Eric. Let me know the pronunciation in the comments, and I'm sorry since I'm sure I butchered it at some point. Joel Robertson, Wade Kemme, and Dwayne John. Is that an A or an O? John, it's an egg. I can't quite tell which one it is there, so a little tricky on my end. So sorry for botching your names, guys, but welcome to the Noti Gang here at Minnesota Vikings. Now, if you want a future shout-out, well, join the Noti Gang. Right? We're trying to reach 5,000 subscribers by training camp. We are 194 away. It's not that far. And when training camp gets here, we're going to have constant videos for you guys. So hit that big red button. Join us for more Minnesota Vikings videos through camp, regular season, preseason, offseason, you name it. We got you guys covered. And join the Noti Gang for a future shout-out. Type Noti in the comments section.